Beneath the surface of the financial system lies a massive, mysterious facility, a place where over $2 trillion simply vanishes. This is the reverse repo facility, and it's become a black hole for cash. Tonight, we're diving into what it is, why it exists, and how $2 trillion ended up here. Welcome to the Fed Files. To understand the black hole, we start at the source, the Treasury. First, how a Treasury bond is born. It all starts with a Treasury bond. When you pay your taxes, that money funds the government. But when the government spends more than it takes in, it needs to borrow. And that's where the bond is created. Bonds are auctioned to dealers and investors. Cash flows in, bonds flow out. Short-term bills, notes, and longer bonds fund ongoing deficits. Proceeds land in the Treasury's account at the Fed, then get spent back into the economy. This circulation sets the stage for the Fed's role. When demand shifts, prices and yields move, and policy can step in. Enter the Fed. This is where the Federal Reserve, the Lord of Easy Money, steps in. Through a process called quantitative easing, the Fed creates new money digitally to buy these bonds from the market. Reserves in the banking system increase when the Fed buys assets. On the Fed's balance sheet, assets and liabilities both grow. Lower yields and abundant liquidity ripple through markets. That cash has to find a home. But what if safe assets are scarce and yields sink near zero? That's where the reverse repo window starts to matter. Meet the black hole for cash. Today's Fed chair, Jerome Powell, is often compared to his predecessor, Paul Volcker, but their worlds and their tools are vastly different. In the 1980s, rates were the hammer. Today, balance sheet tools and standing facilities shape liquidity. Same goals, different plumbing. The overnight reverse repo facility sits quietly in the background until the market needs it. Let's open it up and see how it works. A reverse repo is a short-term transaction. The Fed lends securities overnight and takes cash as collateral. Counterparties park cash, receive treasuries as collateral, and earn a set overnight rate from the Fed. The RRP rate helps set a floor under money market rates, so cash doesn't trade below policy goals. Eligible users include money market funds, GSEs, and primary dealers. Non-banks need a safe interest-earning parking spot. It's designed to be safe, simple, and scalable. And it scales when cash exceeds private market demand. Each afternoon, funds submit bids. The Fed allocates at the set rate. Next morning, trades unwind and cash returns with interest. When RRP rises, other forms of short-term liabilities, like reserves, can be lower than otherwise. In periods of excess liquidity and few safe assets, the facility absorbs cash, fast, launched to improve rate control in a world of abundant reserves. It's a backstop, not a stimulus tool, a parking lot for cash at a known rate. Pandemic-era stimulus and QE flooded the system with cash. Money market funds needed safe assets, but bill supply lagged demand. Banks faced balance sheet limits and pushed excess cash toward money funds. When the RRP rate was competitive, cash naturally flowed into the facility. Capacity and demand met, and balances rocketed upward. At the peak, more than $2 trillion parked there nightly. Think of it as migration. Deposits out, funds in, RRP as destination. When bill supply later increased and yields rose, the pull of the black hole weakened. Cash found better alternatives, unwinding matters for markets. RRP helps anchor the short end of the curve and supports money market fund yields. It provides a predictable backstop, reducing repo rate volatility. Balances can shift between reserves and RRP without signaling new stimulus. As bill supply rose and yields improved, RRP balances declined. During QT, the goal is ample, not infinite reserves while money markets stay orderly. Key risks include a too rapid unwind or concentration, but tools and monitoring aim to keep rates controlled. The black hole shrinks when markets offer better homes for cash. For savers, it's a reminder. Yield and safety choices evolve with policy and supply. Remember, the RRP sets a floor, $2 trillion reflected excess cash in scarce bills, and the unwind is a shift, not a shock, if managed well. Policy plumbing can look like a black hole, but it's really a pressure valve for the dollar system. If this helped, tap subscribe and share with someone who thinks cash just vanishes. See you in the next episode.